Welcome everybody to our Monday night empowerment session. And it's hard to believe, but we're already on episode number 82. And this will actually be a part two continuation with some of the other little tidbits that I want to follow up with so far as unlocking our supplement magic. Otherwise, how to get the best usage of your supplement program. And these are questions I get asked quite a lot. But just as a reminder, for those of you that would like to get text alerts about 15 minutes before I go live, you can text the word LEARN, L-E-A-R-N, to the phone number 1-866-256-1970. And incidentally, that will have links both for the 6:30 broadcast and then the 7 o'clock broadcast too. There's two links that come out of that, along with the recordings from the previous week. So you will get the hookup for all of it by texting LEARN to that number. With that, let's get started. So like I was saying, this is kind of a follow-up to last week's, the continuation where so many people will reach out and ask, how do I take my supplements? What's the best way? What do I not want to do? Or I find out there's things that I thought that people knew, or they their practitioners or doctors had even told them, but yet they weren't being told. And that's why I wanted to make certain I followed up with this. So if you want more detailed for the first part, make sure you go back and listen to episode number 81. So general rules of thumb. Number one, take your supplements, whether they're Sol or anything, 30 minutes or more away from all medications. I know personally for myself, and then most of your other specialists are verifying that you don't have any contraindications. That being said, we still want to take them 30 minutes or more away, not because there's problems with it, but because we want you to get the full benefit of both, the full benefits of the medications the doctor put you on, but also as many benefits as possible from the supplements that you're taking. And I find so many people are taking them all in the same handful. And the thing is, it changes the actions of all things involved. And the best way I can think to demonstrate this or explain this would be, think about making a cake from scratch. Let's say you make a plain vanilla cake from scratch and you're using your flour, your milk, your baking powder, your eggs, and then your vanilla. What does it take then to make that same recipe into a strawberry cake? Well, it's the addition of strawberries to it. And so you get two totally different results. So kind of like this, the end result of mixing your supplements with your medications creates a whole different recipe and probably hampers the full benefits that you get from both ends there, both your medications and the supplements. So we want you to get the full benefit. Number two, for those that are taking our fiber, the good vibrations, I cannot underscore this enough, the importance of this. Make certain that you're following that amount that you're taking with another 8 to 10 ounces of water. And a lot of people don't do a good enough job drinking water anyway, so that just ups the importance of this, because we want that vibrations to have the bulking action that is designed for, to be able to absorb the toxins, but also act like a broom to move things out of the system. When it comes to the good tract cleanse, make certain that specifically that the meds and supplements are both 30 minutes or more away from your good vibrations drink. Again, that good vibrations, we don't need to take any risks that it might absorb some of the medications. Now, I do know that a lot of people like to put their good vibrations in their complete. And when they're doing that, it's a kind of a different result, but I'm talking specifically for when they're working that cleanse. In order to get the full benefits, following those guidelines, make certain that you separate this out. For those of you that have dealt with antibiotics, the best way, in my opinion, to reestablish and help support that good bacteria is to take your ProbioQ 30 minutes or more after your antibiotics, not before, because antibiotics are non-specific a lot of the time as to what they kill. And so they don't differentiate from good bacteria to bad bacteria. Now, if something's been cultured, they verified which antibiotic is actually going to go after the bacteria that is in question. However, it's not, again, it's not specific and just going to go after quote unquote the bad guys. So we want to come in with that good gut bacteria afterwards, so it's got time to repopulate in there for a while and also support your immune system in its ability to fight and deal with the challenge that's in front of it. Another way to get a good culture is the ProbioQ on an empty stomach. Many people take the ProbioQ with their Veritizymes on an empty stomach before bed. That is a great time to, again, reestablish and get that culture in there running good. It can help with sleep. And then if you refer back to what we talked about last week, the Veritizymes, all that additional options that come with the Veritizymes so far as cleaning out toxins out of the system, think about the value about bringing in a good, strong probiotic at the same time. So not only are you getting rid of some of the bacteria and other issues that we don't want there and working on, imbalances that are in the system, but that probio has got that opportune moment to get in and start supporting the system. I cannot underscore this one enough also, because I do still get this question. Do not use our essential oils internally. We do not advocate that whatsoever. And there are health concerns and issues that can come with that. And I advocate for not using essential oils internally whatsoever. The general layperson does not have proper training on how to do anything like that. So to me, putting out a blanket statement like that makes the most sense. And besides, I do know the strength of what ours are, and being a aromatherapist and having worked with essential oils for 43 years. Yeah, long time. I know the potency of what we've got. So I'm very careful with that. Another thing for general rules of thumb, no matter what you're working with, whether you are working with our Compass blends or you've made a blend using the Lift, Calm, Balance, or Clarify with a carrier oil or in a spritzer, you can get additional benefits to speed up your results if you utilize a foot reflexology chart, and they're pretty easy to find online. And say that you were working with the lung area, having a cough or something, whatever oil blends that you might have come up with, and maybe you're using that diluted blend on your chest area. If it was me, I would also be applying it to where the lung area is on the bottoms of the feet. And when in doubt, you can apply over the whole bottoms of the feet. The body's smart. It knows how to utilize things. But again, a lot of people are looking for additional ways, or how do I utilize these blends other than just, having them smell nice. Rest when needed. When you're starting supplements, or regardless of working with your health, listen to your body. We talk about this a lot, listening to what it's asking for, listening to when it needs to rest, not pushing through, especially when you're changing up an approach. Maybe you started the Good Track cleanse, or maybe you just had a very stressful 4 or 5 days. Regardless, resting when your body's asking for it is much more beneficial than when you get in a 911 situation. This could also be demonstrated with, there is an old analogy talking about 2 lumberjacks in a contest, chopping down trees. And one is just going to town and chopping. He notices his axe gets a little dull, so he stops and he sharpens it. And throughout the competition, he might sharpen it a couple times, and he gets right back in and he's going to town again. Meanwhile, you have the lumberjack who thinks he's getting ahead when he sees the other lumberjack stopping to sharpen his blade, and he just keeps on chopping, and he never stops and sharpens his axe. Well, what happens is, number one, he tires faster. Number two, his blade is getting more and more dull, which means he's having to exert more energy to get the end result needed. The same type of thing here. It's always easier to address our issues when they just barely start to surface. So I always include this when I'm talking about how to utilize your supplements. Water, water, water. Water is going to do so much so far as like cleaning out the system, just like you can use it to even just plain water, you can use it to clean up something. Well, think about what that can do in your system, but also think about the Great Mississippi River and how they use it to float barges down to move cargo to where it needs to go. The same type of thing in your system. Not only is the water helping to move the supplements where it needs to go, it's also helping the system to clean as it needs. And finally, a consistent train schedule will help speed up results. And for those of you that are familiar with what I mean with trains, I'm talking about bowel movements. Because when the bowel is moving like it should, which is 2 to 3 times a day, not once every 3 days, not once a week, not once every 6 weeks, that means the trash is being taken out. The more consistent the trash is being taken out, the faster you will get benefits, because as the body starts to heal and move out toxins and sources of irritation and inflammation, it has a way to send it out through the bowel, because that is one of the areas, the channels of elimination that's very important. And when it's backed up, it can make you not feel good. So you might think, instead of your vital all of a sudden benefiting you, you might be thinking, holy cow, why do I not feel so well? Well, if the bowel is not moving like it should, then that can do that. And of course, we have options like our Fast Track that can help with that. There's multiple different directions to go with that, but keeping in mind the importance of keeping that consistent train schedule. Now, I wanted to point out, and here's just a screenshot of 2 different protocols. If you are not aware, there are protocols in the resource center. And when you go into shop, you can click on any of those products, packages, and or the individuals, and you can get, well, the packages, I guess, is the best. It will pull up a protocol for you, a suggested protocol that a lot of people like and works for them. So if you're wondering or don't know exactly how to utilize or what might help you get the best results, know that there are directions, suggested directions and way to go that are actually in our on our website. And so don't hesitate to utilize those as well. And finally, when in doubt, and notice we've got the green eggs and ham guide, because remember how that story goes, would you eat it here, on a house with a fox, with a mouse, on a train, in a car? There's so many different ways that sometimes people can get absolutely tangled up and trip up over themselves. And so what I tell people is, when in doubt, taking it is still better than not taking it. Don't get so hung up on trying to make sure it's perfect that you paralyze yourself, so that you aren't getting, even some benefit. So what if it's 10 minutes till your meal and you didn't take your Verdazymes at the ideal 20 minutes before? 10 minutes is still better than not taking it. So what if you're on a road trip and all of a sudden you realize, wow, I'm halfway through my meal, I forgot to take it. Grab it, take it then. It's still going to benefit the system. So again, don't bypass it just because you think it's too late and not the right time. Now, that being said, I still, if I was a person that forgot to take my Cinemate and it's 8:30 at night, and I do go to bed at 9 o'clock at night, I'm not going to take it at 8:30 at night, because I know for myself that's going to get my brain nice and woke up, and that's not going to be ideal for me for sleep. In that type of situation, I am erring in favor of making certain I get the rest that I need, knowing that I'll be able to get my Cinemate in the next day. So as we wrap this up, I really do want to make sure and point out this quote from Aristotle is really kind of dead on. It says, health is a matter of choice, not a mystery of chance. You don't get your health by accident. It does take some conscious choices and conscious effort and consistency, but it does pay off. So hopefully this will be helpful and help you moving forward on your health journey.